core for enlightenment ecosystem, making you all manifest the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness and Kailas of Paramashiva, and making all of us manifest Paramashiva.
In a world ravaged
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Yes, we're back. In the next segment of this program, we are going to be understanding about the time and space continuum. Previously, Swamiji had expanded upon the Kala Tattva. What is the Kala Tattva and what is time? Now, the Supreme Founder of Hinduism, Swamiji, is going to be expanding on the topic of time and space continuum. Like previously, it has all come back to the space of listening, come back to a space of deep restful awareness, move from the space of hearing to listening, so that all the truths being delivered by the Supreme Founder of Hinduism can be imbibed into our being, can become a part of our very cognition. And that can happen only in the space of listening. So please sit straight, your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes. And remember Swamiji in your third eye. Visualize Swamiji sitting there in your third eye as Paramashiva with the 25 heads and 50 hands. In this deep, restful space of awareness, let us now enter into the Sattva.
Paramashiva's direct message from Kailasa. The dimension of Chidabhasa of the universe, where the activism of Chit and absolute pure existential reality of Chit. Listen, the activism of Chit, we call it as Shakti. Its pure existence of Chit is called Paramapurusha. These two together, in its pure being space and intense doing space, both together, is the dimension of Chidabhasa. That space of Chidabhasa is the source of all these 5 dimensions of the universe: length, breadth, depth, time, space. Because modern day scientists are trying to use 2 different words, time and space, I am also using the same way, but in reality, time and space is a single sheet. One edge is called time, another edge is called space. There is no watertight compartment or clear fourth wall built between these two. As I said, for some people, that same 100-meter cloth, 70 meter will be time, 30 will be space. For some, the 30 meter will be time and 70 meter will be space. That the time, space, both are same sheet. Imagine. I can even use the word sheath. Avarana. Sheath. Sheath is also apt word. Understand? Whether you know it or not, realize it or not, your thought current and your reality is not separated by any wall or any border. What you again and again persistently put in your space starts manifesting in your time. What you again and again and again practice in your time starts manifesting in your space. As I said, this time and space does not have a clear-cut border. For some people, in this time-space continuum, in the time-space dimension, if it's 100 meter, consider it as 100 meter long cloth. For some people, 70 meter is time and 30 meter is space. For some people, 30 meter is time, 70 meter is space. For some people, even only 2 meter is time and 98 meter is space. For some people, 98 meter is time and 2 meter is space. Listen. When the length dimension starts manifesting its possibilities in all its multiple level, it gives birth to breadth dimension. when the length dimension and breadth dimension both starts manifesting all its possibilities in multiple level, it gives birth to depth dimension. When the length dimension, depth dimension, breadth dimension, all three starts giving birth to all the infinite dimensions of them in multiple levels, in all possibilities, spontaneously and simultaneously, they give birth to the dimension called time. When Paramashiva's direct message from Mahakailasa, listen. Chidambara, the arena of the cosmic dance, is living space. Understand? Modern day scientists, with their human mind, are able to understand about space only now, too little and too late. Understand? They are trying to understand space. Modern day scientists are trying to understand space. What they understood till now, too little and too late. Thousands of years before, Hindus had a clear understanding about what is space. Space is living existence, living entity. I should say closer to consciousness. Space is very closer to consciousness. I'll give you some of the important, powerful cognitions about space. Just if you internalize this, you can use the power of space in your day-to-day life in a very practical way, simple and very practical way. But space is a living entity. It's not emptiness, it's not dead, it is living. Second, it is very close to consciousness. Third, the space you are carrying inside you, where that is directly connected to the space where this universe is established. Chidakasa, your conscious inner space, is directly connected to Mahakasa, where this universe is established. The space where this universe is established is directly connected to the space, your inner space where you are established. It means you have absolute ability to influence, inspire, directly intervene with the outer space on which the world is established. Any mass has a power to influence the space. When you are able to influence space through which you can influence anything which is established in the space, and just by sheer power of thoughts, can raise, lower your mass, which you can influence the space, through which you can influence anything established in the space. Please understand. When you meditate on cognize something very heavy, higher than your brain can grasp, your space becomes powerful. That can influence the space outside. And anything established in the space outside. I'll repeat. Very recently, modern day scientists are trying to understand how to influence the space, how space can be manipulated to make our lives more comfortable and better. But thousands and thousands of years ago, Hindus had clear knowledge. This time-space balancing itself and the speed of the light is constant, and the continuum of time-space balancing itself almost like eternal. All these are known to Hindus long before, thousands and thousands of years before. I'll add some more truths. Thoughts can travel using space as medium. Anything which has a mass can influence space, through that can influence anything established in the space. Let me be more clear and straight. Just through your thought, power of cognition, the power of your inner space, Chidambara, you can influence anything established in the space, whether sun or the moon or the universe or the black hole or the Big Bang, anything established in the space can be influenced through the power of your inner space. Contemplate on this. I have come down from Samadhi, brought these few important truths, all of you to chew, internalize this. Let's understand this concept, Kevala. Whenever you relate with the past connections, when you work with the past relationships, that time pulls you into that space because of the time-space continuum. See, a being which understands it is alone, Kevala, is a base material, raw material, where extraordinary powers, experiences, and enlightenment itself can flower. But once your inner space experiences the past times, naturally the time pulls you into the past space. Then for next 9 months, the possibility of enlightenment is postponed. The possibility of extraordinary experiences is postponed. Again, it takes 9 months for any human being to sink the idea, Kevala, I am alone. The first lesson kids should be taught in our schools is they are orphans. Understand? First lesson a child should learn is there is nobody. He came alone. He is responsible for his head and body being together. He is responsible for his hand hanging in his body. He is responsible for his leg connected to his body. Child should learn this lesson first. But normally it looks very cruel, brutal. Even the brahmacharini was shocked. She said, "What is this, Swamiji? It's too cold." I said, "Life is cold. Don't try to make it hot. Don't say it is cold. Use right word. It's cool." Child should know neither the father nor the mother or the relatives are going to be in his or her frequency. His or her frequency is going to be independently intelligent. Please understand, it is not going to be the extension of the parent's intelligence. God creates, never recreates. You are going to be independently intelligent. Unfortunately, this time-space continuum keeps you constantly as the extension of the elder's intelligence. I have seen this kind of mental setup, this kind of people. They will never be productive. They will be such a lazy people, even in their personal life. I am seeing all over the world this kind of, all kinds of specimens I am seeing. This kind of people, they will be such a lazy, such a unproductive people. They can't do anything else except criticizing. They live in Kali Yuga. They live in Kali Yuga. That's the worst state to be in. If you understand, still Dharma is alive. Still Dharma is prevalent. Still, that is the way the cosmos is functioning. Cosmos has not changed the way because the time has passed. No. When you understand that, suddenly you will see your inner space will become Satya Yuga. You will start attracting friends, things, everything of the same energy, same consciousness, same Satya Yuga space. The third technique, understand, first technique is Shakti to change whatever you can. Second is Buddhi to accept whatever you can't. Third, it's important thing, Yukti. Yukti means clarity. Clarity. How much you change or accept, this whole thing is a one more dream. Understand? The ultimate step in Vedanta, or I can say ultimate truth in a simple words. Whether you accept or change, how much you accept or how much you change, the whole thing is a changing dream. There is no scale. The whole thing is changing dream. Now I am putting the whole thing in one word. You don't need to struggle at all. This is I can say, ultimate truth. What we call Zen or Advaita. The ultimate truth. However you change, the whole thing is a constant changing dream. If you understand this truth, how much you change, the whole thing is constantly changing dream. Suddenly you will see you are unclutched. You have a tremendous relaxation inside you. People ask me, if everything is changing dream, then I can do whatever I want. Please understand. If you internalize the truth, everything is a changing dream, you will not be able to do whatever you want. You will do whatever cosmos wants you. You will not be able to do whatever you want. Because the moment you understand this truth, the tremendous inner healing will start happening. The struggle or the suffering will come to an end. One glimpse, whatever is happening is a changing dream. It is constantly changing. Your ideas are changing. Your ideas about changing is changing. Your ideas about transformation is changing. Your ideas about problem is changing. The whole thing changes. For example, sometimes people come and ask me, Swamiji, 12 years before I started my spiritual practice, I thought all my struggles will end. But after 12 years, still I have struggles. Understand? You may have struggles, but not same struggles. The transformation in struggles means transformation in you has happened. 12 years before, you might have been fighting with something else. After 12 years, you might be fighting with something else. When your opponent has changed, be very clear, you have changed. Your opponent cannot change without you changing. It means transformation has happened. Now your fight is happening in different level. In different level. Means the whole thing is changing. 12 years before, what was your desire? What was your fear? What you define as transformation? What you define as mukti? Even those things change. Your concept about liberation constantly changes. The more you expand, idea also changes. I always tell people, enlightenment experience is but not final. Ultimate means all your ideas will disappear. All your ideas about body, mind, everything will disappear. That does not mean everything is over. It will be constantly exploding into a different space. This moment, you will think, oh God, this is the ultimate experience I can bear. Not more than this. But that does not mean it ends there. Every moment you will be having the same feeling. That is what I call enlightenment. It is a limitless continuum. Please understand. Limitless continuum. It will be exploding, but constantly. What you think as ultimate now will be happening in you. After a few minutes, what you think as ultimate now will be happening in you. What you think as ultimate in this moment will be happening. Limitless continuum. The continuously. The whole thing is changing. It means your idea about enlightenment, your idea about desire, your idea about greed, your idea about you, your idea about Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat. All the three will change. Constantly it will be changing. That is what I call enlightenment. Please understand. People think enlightenment is retirement. No. No, you have an idea. After enlightenment, I will do this. I will do that. People come and ask me, Swamiji, what should I plan to do after enlightenment? I tell them, that plan he will do. You can't do. As long as you are planning to do, you will never become enlightened. Enlightenment is the last decision you can make. After that, you can't make any decision. All decisions will be made by somebody else or something else. All decisions will be made by something else. Constantly we think we are an accident. Cosmos is torturing us. No. Cosmos is not sadist. God is not punishing you. People come and tell me, no, Swamiji, you don't know, God is punishing me. Please understand, God has not come to that level to punish you. And you are not raised to that level to be punished by God. You are also not that great to be punished by God. God has also not come down to that level to punish you. We go on abuse the Dharma. No, you don't know, it is Kali Yuga. Dharma will not be prevalent. This history says, that Purana says, that Bhagavata says, that Sutra says, it is Kali Yuga. Life will be like this only. No. Be very clear. There is no such thing as Kali Yuga. There is no such thing as Kali Yuga. I am responsible for what I am talking. I know the meaning of the words I am uttering. There is no such thing as Kali Yuga. It is our impatience to look into the truth. Is what we call or we claim, we come to the conclusion that it is Kali Yuga. Look little deep into the truth. You will see Dharma is prevalent. It is Satya Yuga. When you are superficial, when you don't look into the things, world is Kali Yuga. You are in Kali Yuga. You will attract only that kind of people around you. You will attract that kind of friends around you. You will attract that kind of relationships around you. You will attract that kind of situations around you. You will actually, in what conscious you are, you will attract only that kind of people around you. You will be in Kali Yuga. Little deep. If you have little patience to look into the reality, the truth, suddenly you will see the world is Satya Yuga. Playing. Still, Rama is living. Still, all the great masters are alive. It is Satya Yuga. Still, Dharma is running. People ask me, what do you mean by this? So much of terrorism is going on, so much of poverty, so many war is going on. What do you mean by this? Still things are Satya Yuga. Understand, when Krishna was there was no war or what? When Rama was there was no poverty or what? No. Please understand. When Rama was there also, some part of the world, people were living in Kali Yuga. And even now, some people are living in Satya Yuga. So, Satya Yuga or Kali Yuga is not the chronological time. It is nowhere related to chronological time. It is individual's decision. If you want, now you can enter into Satya Yuga. If you decide, from today, I will have different consciousness, then naturally you will attract that kind of friends. You can see in your life. If you are continuously having self-pity, you will attract the relationship friends who will torture you. You will see. You will continuously attract people who will abuse you because you feel very comfortable with them. After 3 days, you forget that they abused you. You can again relate with them. You find out their cell phone number. You forget just 3 days before you have been abused. No. It's okay. But he is a good guy. In the heart, he is very good guy. I don't know what do they mean by this word. In the heart, he is very good. Even though he abused me, in the heart, he is very good. They have their own technical terms to justify what is going on. You attract abusive relationships, abusing people, everything around you, if you are in that mood, if you are in that consciousness. So please be very clear. The moment you start clearly understanding, the whole world is going as per Dharma. It is Satya Yuga. Suddenly, you will attract the people who are living in Satya Yuga. You will create that kind of friendship around you. You will create that kind of circle around you. Suddenly you see you are in Satya Yuga. To enter into Satya Yuga, all you need to do is, you don't need to create Satya Yuga. Just tune yourself to Satya Yuga, that's all. The 6 feet, whatever is inside your skin, make that as Satya Yuga. Suddenly you will see whatever is outside your skin also will become Satya Yuga. Nothing else need to be done. You don't need to make the whole world, you don't need to create stages in every city and go and talk about Satya Yuga. Let the whole world become should become Satya Yuga. Then only then I will enter into Satya Yuga. No. No. Just change your inner space. You will see, you will attract that. Suddenly that kind of books will reach you. That kind of DVDs will reach you. That kind of websites will reach you. That kind of newspaper will reach you. That kind of things will reach you. All other things will become, you will lose interest. Suddenly you will lose interest in all other things. In my whole life, I never went to cinema theater even once. People ask me, I studied in college. I studied diploma. People ask me, even in college, how did you manage, Swamiji? I said, somehow, I never felt that was part of my life. I'm not old person who lived 60 years ago, long before. I'm just 31. This generation. But that was never part of my life. People ask me, it is impossible. Without being influenced by cinema and TV, how can somebody be alive? I said, somehow, this is the way I am. They say, no, you are extraordinary, you are enlightened. Please understand, when you decorate the deity on your own, your intensity's ability, intensity is excitement in your inner space. Continuity is ability to keep that excitement as visualization till it becomes a reality. Please understand, these are some of the ultimate cosmic principles. I am sharing with you all from all the Hindu Tattva Darshanas. So listen carefully. This is the quote. Listen. Intensity is revelation or excitement experienced in your inner space. Continuity is ability to retain that excitement, revelation, intensity through visualization till it becomes reality in the physical manifestation is continuity. Understand? Doing puja, making garland for deity, doing decoration, all this creates an amazing fertile ground in your inner space. I tell you, I have done it in my life, multiple births. Life is not between one birth and one death. It's multiple births and deaths. I have births and deaths. That's why I'm telling you. Intense excitement, when it is added with the creativity, especially the most superior creativity is Hindu Kriya. Kriyas of Hinduism is the most superior creativity. See my Gurukul kids. Just by decorating deities, they manifest powers. Because intensity of the inner world starts manifesting as continuity of the outer world. Listen. Intensity of the inner world starts manifesting as the continuity of the outer world just through decorating the deity. If you are a millionaire, want to become billionaire, I guarantee, start a temple, start spending at least half an hour to 1 hour physically working on the temple. Tie dhoti, saree, put jewels. Enjoy the creativity. Please understand, one of the greatest poverty the modern day man is facing is inability to retain a visualization continuously even for few minutes. Extreme mental breakdown. Don't try to tell me entertainment industry is full of creativity. No. Entertainment industry is full of copying, replicating, duplicating, not creativity. Creativity is less than 0.5%. Creativity, I am defining, creativity is ability to keep the inner space's excitement, inspiration through continuity till it becomes reality. I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Can everyone? We're back. Beautifully in this previous, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained about the time-space continuum and more on how the video we saw, the first video we saw about Kala Tattva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expands on the concept of time. In this series, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanded more on the concept of space and the time-space continuum. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, expanded that while the Puranas, the Sutras, and there are so many scriptural references which claim that we are in Kali Yuga right now, it is we who decide what yuga, what time, what space we live in. It is our inner space. What space we are living in our inner space that decides what yuga we are living in, what time we are living in. If we decide to be in Satyuga, if we ourselves are in Satyuga and align everything within our body frame to be in the Satyuga, then our external world will reflect and change and become Satyuga. We start attracting people who are also living in Satyuga. But if we decide, if we are living in Kali Yuga, in confusion, in delusion, in unconsciousness, then that is the kind of people, kind of community we are going to attract towards ourselves. Beautifully, Swamiji explained that time and space are not two separate things. One contributes to the other, and they are a byproduct of each other's existence. When you are in a space of deeper awareness, space of the higher and higher time zones, that is the reality you are in, that is the reality you start living in, you start manifesting. In the next series and set of satsangs, we're going to be watching the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism decoding exactly what is time and how we can liberate ourselves from the societal conditionings and societal understandings of time which have been put into us from our young age. Swamiji also explained how it is our space which decides the reality we are going to be living. Time and space are not two separate entities, two separate functions. Both are intertwined and work together. So now, let us enter into the next series, next segment of today's program, which is understanding and decoding.
Nithyanandeshwara Samarambam Nithyanandeshwari Madhyamam Asmadacharya Parayantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Conquering time. First, few basic understandings, few basic truths. Please understand, every sacred secret, every sacred truth I am uttering, every word need to be internalized and internalized. Do not sit with the intellectual tiredness. Usually people have this pattern. Tell us finally what we should do. No, things don't work like that. Please understand. Every word I am uttering matters. I'll give you a small example from my own life. One of my guru, Annamalai Swamigal, in course of conversation he told me that we are not the body, we are beyond pain and suffering. When I was sitting alone and contemplating about it, we are not the body, we are beyond pain and suffering. What does he mean by it? I actually experimented. I took a knife and cut my thigh to see whether we have pain or not. Of course, I had pain and I was taken to hospital and stitches were done and all that has happened. But I could not think what my guru uttered is lie. I was continuously contemplating. I had a yoga guru. He was also a Paramahamsa. One day he explained, he usually comes to the house where I was born and brought up. He will come home early morning, 4 o'clock, and drag me out of the bed and take me to the temple and teach yoga. I was a kid. Sometimes the moment I am out of bed, he will make me drink coffee so that I will not go back to bed. One day he was telling, see, before coffee how you feel, that you want to lie down and nothing other than sleep matters. Just a cup of coffee, you are ready to listen to me, and suddenly I became more important, yoga becomes more important. All the ideas that you should do yoga makes more sense. Without a cup of coffee, all the ideas you should sleep makes more sense. Just with a cup of coffee, all the ideas you should do yoga and take care of your health, build your body so you can get enlightened. All these ideas make sense. He made a very important statement which I want to translate in English for all of you. He said, the physiological, psychological, neurological effect on you. Please understand. One guru made a statement, you are not the body. The other guru made a statement, the physiological, psychological, neurological effects happening on you is not you. How many of you click with that second statement? Actually, both statements finally mean the same, but the second statement suddenly made so much sense to me. Yes. Please understand. Because I could see my seeking is not just equivalent to a cup of coffee, but a cup of coffee can make such big impact. It can just drive away the sleep, make the whole yoga happen in me with enthusiasm, excitement. So when I was analyzing, cup of coffee cannot be equivalent to my seeking. are equivalent to me. Understand? The idea he conveyed to me, my yoga guru, is whether you have the feeling sleeping is more important, that is my first priority, I don't care about anything else, or you feel no, after a cup of coffee, the thought current, no, I have to be doing, this has to be done for my enlightenment, for my growth. Whether you have this thought current before cup of coffee or thought current after cup of coffee, both thought currents does not, both thought currents are not you, both thought currents are empowered by you, not you. That is what the master, the first guru means, Annamalai Swamigal means, you are not the body, you are not the mind. When Annamalai Swamigal told me, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are beyond pain and suffering, the statement did not make sense for me. But when my yoga guru explained, physiological, psychological happenings are not you, it really made sense. Understand? Throughout this program, every statement I make is going to directly work on your inner space, which is required for me to transmit this experience to you. Actually, when I had the click, oh, psychological, physiological, neurological effects happening on me is not me, I tell you. From the next day, I didn't need coffee to wake me up. The understanding, physiological, psychological effects happening on me is not me, liberated me. Not only from coffee, after that, never ever I understand something called low mood or depression or not feeling well or stressed. I tell you, all these words are really strange. Still I am not able to comprehend those words. When people come and tell me, I really feel bad for them, but I feel, oh God, I'm not able to grasp what they mean by this word. All those words have no meaning in my life because it was such a clear understanding. Now sit to grasp those understandings. If you are sitting with the idea, all these are okay, Swamiji, you tell me finally what I should do, I will do that. That is intellectual tiredness. Please understand. Egg If it is broken from outside by force, a life ends. If it is broken from inside, a life starts. If you sit with intellectual tiredness, finally tell me what I should do. Even if I tell you finally what you should do, if you do, it will be like a breaking the egg from outside. Even if I transmit experience to you, you won't retain it. When I transmit and you don't retain, it is called Satori. When I transmit and you retain, it is called Samadhi. Annamalai Swamigal, what he tried to transmit, what my yoga guru transmitted, Yogananda Puri, both are actually one and the same. The first transmission may be my intellectual tiredness. It was only a Satori, it never becomes Samadhi in me. But the second, when Yogananda Puri explained, maybe it clicked with me, it became Samadhi, a permanent experience. After that, never ever I had a respect for any of the physiological, psychological happening in my system. And no physiological, psychological happening could have any say on my system. Please be in the space of internalizing every truth I am going to share with you. So, it becomes Samadhi in you. The permanent transformation in you. It becomes eternal understanding in you. We are going to have a special meditation process end of the sessions today and tomorrow. But that does not mean that is the essence of the session. Now you don't need to be receiving. Every word I am uttering is a process. Please understand, because the subject is so subtle. Subject is so subtle. See, when my first guru told me, you are not body, you are beyond pain and suffering. It is truth, but it is too to grasp. It's too physical. But when my yoga guru told me, experientially, which he was able to convey into my listening, the psychological, physiological, neurological effects are happenings in you is not you. Not only it clicked with me, it brought tremendous liberation. What my first guru, the Annamalai Swamigal, was trying to make in me, the yoga guru made it because he spoke into my listening. Now, every statement I am going to utter, I want to speak into your listening. I will also take the responsibility of making it as clear as possible. And I also request you to be intensely listening, without this intellectual tiredness, thinking, end of the day there is going to be a meditation process and Swamiji will do whatever need to be done. I just need to tolerate this to have that process. Please do not have that, because every word I am uttering matters. Come to the space of listening. The first statement I am making, please listen. The first statement I am making, time is a matter. Second statement, it is not absolute as you think. Please understand. Now I will make these statements into your experience. These two are the Mahavagyas now. When you perceive this world through this body, you can never doubt the authenticity of this body or the authority of this body. But when you are perceiving the dream world through the dream body, this body does not have authority over you. Please understand. When you are perceiving dreams with the dream body, this body does not have authority over you. Same way, when you are perceiving this world through this body, the dream body does not have authority over you. When you understand there is a body which has authority over you at some time, does not have authority over you in some other time, you can understand this body also has authority over you sometime, does not have a right over you in some other time. Listen. As long as you perceive this world through this body, you think this has authority over you. You can't understand a space without this body. Same way, because you are constantly perceiving the world, because you are constantly perceiving your reality through time, you think time is absolute and it is truth, just like how you feel your body is truth. Listen. I'll repeat the essence. When you see, perceive this world through this body, you take this body as authority. Sometimes you question this reality, but not this body. When you are so busy in doing business with currency, you forget to question The authority of the currency, that itself is a myth. When you are doing business using diamonds, you forget the authority of the diamond. You are so busy in giving 100, taking 50, giving 200, taking 400. You forget the diamond itself is not something precious, or it does not have an authority other than created demand. Please understand. I am not questioning, I am not saying don't do business. All I am trying to tell you is understand the stupidity, you can play with it beautifully. The moment I understood, it clicked with my system that physiological, psychological effects on me is not me. So much liberation, such liberation. Such a beautiful space. It was such an absolute ecstasy. Knowing even that ecstasy is not me. When you know even the joy happening in you is not you, the joy stays with you permanently. All joys disappear the moment you try to grab them. The first truth, time is a matter. And it does not matter. Time is a matter and it does not matter. You can manipulate it as you can manipulate your body. Understand? You can make your body big or small with certain practices, diet control. You can manipulate it. You can play with it. Same way, you can play with time. You can play with time. How? We will see next. But some of the basic truths, you can play with it. I'll try to share with you all a conversation I had with Arunagiri Yogeshwara. It's too personal and intimate, but I think I have to share so that you will understand the concept of time as Mahadeva explains in Agamas. One day I was sitting and talking to him. I was just so much in love, awed by his presence. It will always be for spending time I will be talking. There is nothing serious about what I am talking to him. That is why how much ever I try, I am not able to recount or recall everything I heard from him. Very less only I am able to recall, because all the time I was only awed and just I want to spend time with him. That was the purpose. So talking is only secondary. I was talking so that he will not get up and go. To make him sit, I have to talk. Listen carefully. The conversation was about time and space. He was trying to explain time and space to me. It is time you understand every statement, so that it becomes just part of you. You also need to know the value of one single truth hitting you properly. Please understand, it was just one single truth. My understanding about, just a cup of coffee, only that much is the gap between me and my seeking. It was such revelation. The laziness and powerlessness and the powerfulness I felt after a cup of coffee. I understood very clearly, both are not me. I am something beyond this too. Just that one understanding liberated me forever from all the physiological and psychological ups and downs. Never ever I had any respect for the physiological, psychological ups and downs in my system. And you don't know what great liberation it can be. So please understand. Now, even understandings can liberate you from patterns you are having, and with understanding, if I lead you into the process, the experience I transmit will become Samadhi in you, means permanent. Without you understanding or without you developing the right context also, I can put you in experience. That will be by force, it will only be Satori, you won't be able to retain that. So allow every statement to work on you, because even I am feeling, I am explaining something very subtle. It's almost like I am not playing with Saraswati, I am playing with Saraswati's Veena. Listen to this conversation I had with Arunagiri Yogeshwara, because this is going to give you a very important click understanding about time. The discussion was about time and space. I was asking him, some questions about Kala Bhairava. That is the way the conversation started, and he was trying to explain the time and the effect of time on our system and our understanding. Naturally, I could not grasp everything immediately. So the conversation boiled down to, he was trying to explain to me, time is just your mental experience, mental perception, it can be imploded or exploded. Listen, it can be imploded or exploded as you want. So naturally it was too much for me. Then he touched something in my very personal life and explained. Of course, it is a very intimate conversation, but I'll share it with you all because it will do good to all of you. I had the problem of bedwetting as a child. So, when I was talking to him, it was around maybe I was 11. At that time, I used to have that problem of bedwetting. He just picked up my hand with a lot of care. He was trying to guide me, asking, when you have a bedwetting, what goes on in your dream state and deep sleep state? I slowly described, I contemplated and described. I used to feel first my bladder is full. Then I'll feel in the dream that I am in a restroom and I should relieve myself. And then in next few minutes, I'll only feel my bed is wet. I explained the step by step. He said, exactly, this is time. Please listen. It was such powerful click for me. I'll tell you exactly what he said. He said, how the moment your bladder is full, your brain can create the restroom which is not there and give you the comfortable feeling you are protected, safe, you are in a proper place, please relieve yourself. Only after that signal goes to the body, the internal organs decide to relieve and relieves itself. The pressure inside you to perceive something, to have some experience, creates the concept of time and gives you various experiences. Pressure inside you, that bladder is full, creates the restroom ambience in your brain, which is actually not there, but gives you a comfortable feeling, you can relieve yourself. Same way, desire to have certain experiences, that pressure inside you creates time which is not there and gives you various experiences. I'll try to convey much deeper the same truth further. Now you understand this much. The whole idea of time is your will and decision. I can give you 100 examples. When you are sitting with somebody whom you like or doing something which you like, your passion, you don't know how the time passes. Time gives you a different experience about you, about life, about world. But when you are sitting with somebody whom you don't like, or when you are doing something about which you are forced, time gives you different experience about yourself, world and life. This one small example I have seen in my own life. Morning 5 o'clock, early morning 5 o'clock to night 11 o'clock, I'll be sitting with Arunagiri Yogeshwara. I don't know how the sun rises and sun sets, but at night, few hours when I need to be in the house, away from him, I'll move the clock 10 times, thinking that it is not moving, stopped. I'll feel why the nights are so long. Time is slow when you wait. Time is fast when you are late. Time is deadly when you are sad. Time is short when you are happy. Time is endless when you are in pain. Time is long when you feel bored. Every time, time is determined by your feelings and psychological conditions, not by clocks. So learn to have nice time always. Whatever now I am sharing, most of you may know that ideas, nothing new. But I am trying to set the context so that I can lead you into the deeper understanding, especially the experience to make these understandings permanent. Time is a matter it does not matter. It can be manipulated as you want. You can play with it as you want. One more understanding I received from Arunagiri Yogeshwara about time. Listen carefully. The whole life is just vast canvas. Space is the canvas. Imagine 200-mile length canvas, which lot of paintings there. The paintings which you already perceive is called past. The painting you are perceiving is present. The painting you are going to perceive is future. But the truth is all three exist. All three exist. Next statement I am making. Please listen. First statement I am making. Past, present, future, all three exists. And the next statement I am making, you can alter all the three. We always think, if all three already exist, how can I alter my future? If it is already existing, how can I alter? Understand? The painting exists does not mean you can't add something to it. Your powerlessness, I can't add something to it, only makes you stop adding. And very important statement I am making now. Not only you can alter the future, you can alter your past. How? We will make. You can alter your past. You may think, this is too much. How? We will see after the meal break. I'll give you clear experiential understanding about these 4-5 statements I made. During this meal break, go on, chew these statements along with your food. 1, time is a matter, it does not matter. 2, your psychological ups and downs, physiological ups and downs are not you. Next, your past, present, future exists now. Next, it exists now does not mean you are bound by it. You can alter not only your future, even your past. Let's gather for next session. Thank you. Be blissful.
Sorry for the technical glitch. Beautifully in this webinar, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained the science of time and exactly what is time. Swamiji gave a beautiful example. For our whole life, our whole reality is just a long canvas. Time is the painting, is the drawing which is happening on the canvas. Everything which we are perceiving, our experiences, everything which we are seeing, we claim as the reality which is happening around us. All of it is nothing but time, nothing but matter, which is created by us, can also be destroyed by us, and can be manipulated and transformed into any other form of matter, into any way we want it to be. Beautifully, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also gave multiple examples from his own life and the direct truths and revelations and teachings Swamiji himself received from Arunagiri Yogeshwara about time. Time is a subjective reality. It does not exist as objective for everyone. When we are happy, time is short. When we are in sorrow and pain, time never seems to end. When you understand these fundamental cognitions and fundamental truths which Swamiji revealed about time, then you'll simply know how to use time to manifest what you want in your reality, what you want to manifest in your life. Attending the Paramashivam program will help you and bless you. Swamiji will bless you with the power, the intelligence, and the knowledge and experience to make time as one of the toolkits to manifest whatever you want in your life. So, without further ado, please go ahead and the QR code and the link to the Paramashivam registration website is being projected below. The program which Mahaparmashivam can offer you, what it can provide to you, what it can contribute to your life is invaluable. No matter how much ever we talk about it, the benefits and the different things which you will be learning in the program, it will not equate to the experience which you will receive from the Supreme Bond of Hinduism during the program. So without further ado, please go ahead and take the next couple of minutes to register yourself for the Mahaparmashivam program. And with this, we're going to be entering the next segment of today's program, followed by the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of the Supreme Pandav of Hinduism in the Virabhadra Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So with this, we are now going to go for a break and join later in the next session. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Whatever I shared till now, condensing the whole thing and reviving it as experience, starting from completion, unclutching, power manifestation, the states of consciousness, and the planes, multiple planes, everything. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand? This is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Pandav of Hinduism through the yoga aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashiva and the Agams.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtam Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvavasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadguruntam Namami. Nithyanandam. I welcome all the viewers and participants over 175 countries joining with us for the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of the Samhara Murthis of 64 manifestations of Paramashiva manifesting through the Nijavatara the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And we are going to be having yet another exciting segment today with amazing guest speakers who are here to share their life journey. And their life journeys are something so much profound. We can see the impact of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's teachings, his initiations and blessings, how it can influence in the individual level and in the community level. And today's segment is going to be about women empowerment. Yes. So you may think, yes, I've heard this before. I think I have heard a lot of shows about women empowerment. Yes, you may have heard about it. But today's segment is going to cover and unleash some of the very interesting facts on how Hindu feminism is far more advanced and powerful, and how Swamiji has empowered and taken this aspect of Hindu feminism and advanced so many milestones of Kailasa forward over the last 30 years. So, coming back to the state of affairs today, women has been a long-standing backbone of the entire society. But if you take the women in the current society today, there is a lot of inequality, oppression, gender justice, and also sexual violence and physical violence that has been encountered by women. Almost, we can say, 1 in every 3 women has encountered this sort of oppression and gender violence every day. So, though we may feel that, okay, I am in 2023, so many things are advanced, and people are progressive, and that's what you would expect it to. But yet, if you see the stark reality, 1 in every 3 women experience physical and sexual violence either in their home, in their families, or in their workplace, or how they are treated in the society. So this is the stark reality that we are in today. And what are the solutions that we have got in hand? So Hinduism is the most progressive religion, and Sanatana Hindu Dharma has solutions for every single world problem that we are facing today. And Kailasa, with an active global presence in more than 175 countries, is one of the largest knowledge source on Hinduism, where so much of knowledge repositories and so much of solutions that Hinduism has got for the world, Kailasa is able to retrieve and package it and present it in a user-friendly manner. So the issue that we're talking about today is about the gender violence and inequality and oppression that the women are facing today. Kailasa has time-tested solutions just by empowering women with the right understanding of feminism. Kailasa has given a huge breakthrough in this subject. And that is definitely a testimony. If you talk to any Kailasian who's a woman, you can see the confidence that she radiates. You can see the context that she holds. It's mainly because the way the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, has enhanced and empowered the right knowledge about Hinduism and feminism. If you take today's feminism, most of it is all about competing with the other gender. It is never complementary, or it is never making femininity as something unique and something contributing and something extremely advanced. Just with the power of femininity in each of us, whether it is a man or a female, everybody has got that component of feminine consciousness. With the completion of that feminine consciousness, man attains his highest possibility. Giving that right perspective of what is femininity and how it is unique, and how by awakening this component in each of us, it can lead to ultimate enlightenment. This perspective is definitely not there. It's definitely not taught in today's feminism. And that is exactly how Swamiji has enabled and empowered all the women in Kailasa and the Hindu women today to attain their peak possibilities in life. And in Hinduism, Swamiji beautifully shares that feminism is not about conquering men. It is about strengthening the whole universe. In Hinduism, feminism is not about fighting with men or conquering men or fighting for an equal status as men. I'm sure so many of you can connect to this very interesting statement that Swamiji has given, because that is exactly how people feels about, right? If you connect with any of the debates or any of the feminists or activists, mostly the whole subject is around conquering men or competing with men. It is never about empowering the whole universe. And what Swamiji shares is, women, we call women as Parashakti, manifestation of Parashakti, and all the women around the world, empower yourself with the spiritual strength and realize your uniqueness and contribute to the world. So, the right introduction, giving the right introduction to you, literally gives the very genesis of your identity. It empowers you with the right genesis of the identity. It empowers you to define who you are. And from that space, any action, any reaction that's happening, it all lands in auspiciousness. And we'll take a look at a small video where Swamiji finds Hindu feminism.
Today is also the International Women's Day. United Nations has given a theme for 2021 International Women's Day, Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in COVID-19 World. My message on this International Women's Day, understand, Hindu tradition empowers women. In Hinduism, feminism is not conquering men, it is strengthening the whole universe. In Hinduism, feminism is not all about fighting with men or conquering men or not even equivalent to men. Women have their own unique place. We call women as Shakti. Parashakti. Manifestations of Parashakti. Understand? All the women all over the world, empower yourself with a spiritual strength. Realize your uniqueness and contribute to the world. That is my message on this International Women's Day. My blessings and support for all of you to achieve everything best in this universe, including enlightenment.
Great. You can see the way Swamiji has defined Hindu feminism. I'm sure just hearing to those words, it is simply energizing us with life positivity, and it really feels that a world can literally live this truth and end all the crimes against women. Please imagine, one in every third woman is actually experiencing sexual violence. It is something so terrible. And today we have speakers across the globe and who are here to share their first-hand experience